Oh, we're live. And Luke's got it.
I think we need headphones so that we don't hear the voices in the background.
That's a good point. I'm gonna get headphones.
I'm not getting headphones.
But then we hear all the echo.
Is it that bad?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I don't hear any echoes.
Oh. I do. I can hear everything I say like 2 seconds later.
Well, then you guys can put on headphones. Mine's working just fine.
Where'd John go?
So go get headphones.
And Luke just bounced?
He's not on there, apparently.
We're so live right now.
I don't think anybody in the world knows it. You guys look so cool with your headphones in.
Hey, thanks.
And Luke with this giant... Who is the giant headphones on? Oh my god.
You gotta do it professional if you're gonna do it.
Okay, Scott Van Pelt.
Luke, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I can hear everything so much clearer.
Sweet internet connection, Luke. You rocking 2G?
Are you sure Fargo has 4G?
Hey,
This
Luke,
is
are
on
you
my
there?
phone. Wait.
Yeah,
You don't have a computer?
Alright,
my
so
work computer
who's on
blocks
your
Google
screen
Home.
right now?
Who am I getting this brutal echo from?
Haynes.
Why are you blaming me?
Because you're the only one that doesn't have headphones in?
Oh yeah, that's it. It's makeup for that horrible echo from last week, Limoges.
Yeah, it was bad. So who's on the big screen for all of you right now?
You. Now
Yeah.
John.
Now I'm blue.
Now it's Limoges. John.
Haynes.
Yeah.
Okay. I know
Now,
what's going on.
it goes to whoever is talking.
Sure does.
It's smarter than we are.
I remember my first time on Google Plus.
Oh yeah. All right, we ready, boys?
I really hope somebody's watching this right now.
My friend and fellow coworker from great, Luke's gone. From Green Bay is here, and he thinks we're a bunch of morons.
He's in your house.
Yeah, he's right there.
Hey guys.
Don't give me that face. I have a life outside of your podcast every week, you know.
Haynes, why did you quit fantasy hockey? I'm trying to make major moves right now.
Yeah, I'll take an ice cream. What? Problem?
That was the best.
I didn't even hear what you said, Limoges. I tuned you out.
I said, I can't remember what I said.
I don't know, but I'm
Oh,
about
I said,
to
why
have
did you
a
quit
drumstick.
fantasy hockey? And you go, yeah, I'll take an ice cream.
For sure.
Oh, Luke, thanks for coming back, buddy.
He missed out on some good stuff.
Are we ready, boys?
I've been ready for the last 10 minutes.
Whoa.
All right, here we go. Welcome to the first video edition of the Fierce Football Feast. This is DJ Motto here with you. We got Big Papa, Dakota Slim, and good old Jigabelly with us here today. We'll be making some picks against the spread. Hopefully I'll do better than last week, and we'll put you on some money. So, first game here, we got USC visiting Coralville, where the Beavers are 5-point.
Wait.
Jiggle, get something.
Corvallis?
Yeah, Corvallis. Sorry.
Coralville. Not the 4-11. Right in the middle of the week.
So Corvallis, what do you got in Corvallis this weekend?
What did you say?
I said, who do you have in Corvallis this weekend?
Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh. Number one, I'm curious as to why we're picking this game, because neither one of these teams is ranked or in the Big Ten. But I'll put that aside, and I'm going to take Oregon State in this one. Since losing to Eastern Washington, they've been on a pretty good roll, including their 8-point loss to Stanford last week, who's a good team. USC 1-2 on the road this year, and they haven't played a ranked team all year. So I think Oregon State wins this game by a touchdown or more.
Slim, you agree or what?
I do agree. Sean Mannon's a decent passer. They don't have much of an explosive passing game, but I really think they can win in Corvallis. USC hasn't played anyone very competitive lately, so I got Oregon State beating them by more than 5.5 points.
Oh, wow. Big Papa, you agree or what? Uh-oh.
You muted him.
Yeah, how do I unmute him?
Thanks for muting me, jerk.
I had to because you're a fucking thing. How'd you unmute yourself?
I clicked the microphone.
Oh.
I didn't know this was an explicit language program.
All right, Big Papa, you got the Beavers or what?
I'm going with USC here. I know USC's kind of had a roller coaster year with Lane Kiffin getting fired, and they've been pretty inconsistent on both offense and defense. But they've been playing better recently, and I think that they're turning the corner. And Oregon State, as we said last week, hasn't really played anybody good and beaten them. They did play Stanford pretty tough last week, but I think they're going to be kind of deflated after a tough loss, and I think they're going to struggle. I think I'm going to pick USC with the 5 points to cover.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with Jiggle and Slim here and say that the Beavers get within 5. So the next game we got is Tennessee going into Columbia, I think. Hold on. Yep, Tennessee going into Columbia, where the line is. Should have had this done before.
10.5.
The Tigers 10.5 point favorites.
10.5.
Slim, what do you got?
Boom. Let's go Tigers. Matty Mock. He's going to light Tennessee up. Tennessee is 0-3 on the road this year and 1-3 in the SEC. I don't think they get another SEC win here. I'm going Missouri.
Papa.
Tiger.
You know, we're really clicking on all cylinders here. I'm going to go with Mizzou here. Mizzou's coming off a tough loss on the road or at home against South Carolina. Tennessee's coming off a solid beating by Alabama. I like Mizzou. They've covered 8 out of the last 10 games. They're playing at home, and they still have a lot to play for. Tennessee doesn't really have a whole lot to play for. Mizzou can get a chance to wrap up a seat in the SEC championship game with another win or two. I like Mizzou here.
Jiggle.
I'm taking Missouri. James Franklin might be back this week, and even if he's not, Matty Mock has been tearing it up. Missouri's played some incredibly good football so far this year, other than one quarter and an overtime period versus South Carolina. Tennessee gives up almost 30 a game. Missouri's got a good offense, so I think they cover this one easy.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Tigers show what they're made of, and they get a win here by over 10.5. I think they cover. Next game is the Auburn Tigers going in to Lafayette, where they're playing the Fat Hog Bielema. Sorry, we can't say that. Otherwise, we might get suspended again. But Auburn's 8.5 point favorites, and we'll start off with Dakota Slim and try to keep it, a little classier there, Dakota Slim.
I will. Well, there's a little controversy surrounding this game already, as Gus Malzahn and staff did not send adequate video footage to the Arkansas coaching staff.
So the fat Twinkie says.
And, of course, Brett Bielema is going to whine about it because of cream in his Twinkies. So Auburn's got a pretty good rushing attack with Nick Marshall. I'm going with Auburn.
All right, what do you think, Jiggle?
This one's Auburn all the way. Bielema's got to hold on to something here. So faulty game tape from Auburn. They didn't include the swinging gate or before the play started or something. I mean, seriously, Arkansas's lost 5 straight games. Their last 3 are by a combined score of 134-17. They're bad, and Bielema's fat. So.
Yeah, I just hate Bielema, so I gotta go Auburn here too. Haynes, what do you got? Or sorry, Big Papa.
Auburn's covered the last 5 games in a row. I'm taking Auburn. This is the same Arkansas team that last week wanted to consider the mercy rule within SEC play. They've been on the receiving end of several beatdowns this year. I don't know, even if the spread was 25, that they couldn't cover it. The closest they've been in a loss is against a very pedestrian Florida team. They haven't fared well against top teams this year. They're going to get smacked down.
All right, well, that brings us into another Lafayette, but this one's West Lafayette, as Ohio State plays host to the Ohio State's going into West Lafayette, Purdue Boilermakers, where Ohio State is 32-point favorites. Jiggle, you think that's enough?
No. Ohio State wins this by more than that. Purdue's lost by more than 34 times this year. They only beat Indiana State by 6 at home. NDSU just beat Indiana State by 46 on the road. Purdue's awful. They're just horrible.
Slim, what do you got?
I'm going to agree with Jiggle on this one. Ohio State's got something to prove. They have a weak strength of schedule, and if they want a chance to get in the BCS title game, they got to win and win big. So I think Ohio State really scores some points and keeps it going in the second half to make this win look really impressive to increase their ranking in the polls. So Ohio State.
Big Papa.
I have a little hesitation picking Ohio State after trying to side with the 32-point spread last week, but I actually think, wow, thanks, Luke. 800 miles away, and he's still being mean. Purdue had a moral victory last week by only losing to a pretty good Michigan State team by 14, but I have a hard time believing this game.
Can you really have a moral victory when you get shut out?
I mean, they only lost by 14. That's one of their, smallest margins of defeat for the whole season, so I guess so. They only got scored on by a defensive touchdown and a trick play. Their defense played pretty well.
So you got...
I got Ohio State to cover.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go Purdue within 32 here. I just think that 32 points is far too much.
You haven't learned your lesson in this yet?
No, I haven't. I refuse to. Sorry, Mari's talking to me right now, trying to work out a trade. He's trying to fleece me of fucking course. So.
Who's he trying to get? We'll have our fantasy hockey later.
Yeah, later. That's the next podcast.
That's the late show.
Okay. So yeah, I got Purdue within 32 here.
Hey, Matt. So you got Purdue, and so does Haynes.
No, Haynes got
I have
Ohio State.
Take better notes, Luke.
Okay.
All right, next game we got Illinois heading into Happy Valley.
Collegeville.
It's Collegeville, right? I was thinking St. John's.
No, it's happy. I don't know what it is.
where Penn State is 10.5-point favorites. I know Illinois is bad, but are they that bad, Big Papa?
You know, choosing this game is like having to choose between eating dog food and cat food. No matter what you pick, everyone loses. You know, with that being said, I'm going to go with Penn State. Illinois is horrible. I can't believe I picked them last week. I'm never going to pick them to win anything ever again. And really, Illinois is yet to be competitive in a Big Ten game. Penn State hasn't been much better at home. They've been a little bit better at home, and they're significantly less bad than Illinois is.
Jiggle Belly.
Picking against the home state, huh? Isn't that against the law in Illinois?
Oh, no, nobody likes them.
My only notes for this game is that Illinois State has been blown out in 3 straight Big Ten games, and Penn State is bad, but not as bad. So
That's
I'm going to
great,
take Penn
but
State.
we're picking Illinois and Penn State, not Illinois State and Penn State.
I said Illinois and Penn State.
No, you said Illinois State.
Well, Illinois State would have
State
just
would
as good of
probably
a
be
chance
closer
in this
game
game.
than Illinois.
I'm going to take Penn State.
Slim.
Fighting Sandusky's.
I'm actually going to go Illinois within 10.5 here. I think they have enough.
Dumb.
I think they have enough power and.
What kind of power do they have?
Nathan Shieldhouse, 5th-year quarterback. He's a seasoned vet.
He looked pretty good last week, didn't he?
Word. All right, so we got
back in the game. Pick against all of us.
we got Wisconsin going into Kinnick. Any chance that Wisconsin doesn't get ran out of town, Jiggle Belly?
I don't think so. I think that they go home with their tail between their legs. Iowa wins this game. They cover that spread. They do everything here. Their losses this year are to teams with a combined record of 23-1. They're a pretty solid team, and I just don't think Wisconsin's got it this week.
It's important to note that Wisconsin's a 9.5-point favorite here. So Slim.
I agree with Jiggle on this point spread. However, I don't think Wisconsin's gonna. I think Wisconsin's still gonna win this game, but I think they'll be close. Iowa's a surprisingly underrated team this year, and I think they'll keep this game tight in Kinnick. I don't think they'll win, but lose by a goal or a touchdown. So I got Iowa covering.
Poppy.
You know, I have to go with my alma mater here. Wisconsin's covered their last 7 spreads, and they've been looking really good this year. 2 losses that they've had were on the road against a very good Ohio State team, losing by 7. And also a fluke loss at Arizona State where they kind of got hosed by, not kind of, they got hosed by the officials.
Are they at home this week?
What?
Are they at home this week?
Wisconsin?
Yeah.
No, they're on the road.
Oh, okay.
But Joel Stallings is looking better. Melvin Gordon is going to run all over him and show that he can be a potential future Heisman candidate. I mean, Iowa barely snuck by a very mediocre Northwestern team. They had to go to overtime against the same Northwestern team that Minnesota beat. And Minnesota is not nearly as good as Wisconsin.
Sorry, I'm trying to hook Mario up with a big game right now. Yeah, Iowa's within 9.5 here. That's the dumbest bet I've ever heard, besides the Wisconsin-Northwestern bet. So from a couple weeks back. Melvin Gordon, potential Heisman candidate?
Not this year necessarily, but next year. Look at his stats.
Okay, Wisconsin hasn't had a one-back system since Ron Day. I'm sure he won the Heisman, but they're not going to have a one-back system.
Yeah, you're right. He's only like the all-time rushing leader.
Not anymore. All right, we got Mississippi State heading into South Carolina, where I think South Carolina's favorites.
You think?
Hold on, I'm trying to check it out.
I
I wish our secretary would have had these figured out before.
South Carolina, 12.5-point favorites.
All right, so Jiggle, you first. What do you think?
Statistically, both these teams are pretty even, shockingly. but their schedules are not even at all. Mississippi State's lost to any of the 3 decent teams they've played, and they've lost by a lot. South Carolina doesn't generally beat teams big, other than the 45-point beatdown they put on Bielema's boys, but who doesn't do that to them? And but I think they win this one by a couple touchdowns, so I got South Carolina here.
Poppy!
Yeah, I agree. South Carolina's been one of the most bipolar teams out there. Had great from behind win against Mizzou. Also lost to Tennessee and had a couple squeakers. But I think that they're gonna come ready to play and show that they're still a front runner in the SEC. I believe they're gonna cover their 12.5 or 13 or whatever the spread it is.
Slim, give it to me in about 6 seconds because that's when you'll hear the question.
I got South Carolina. If Connor Shaw plays, they win by a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to go South Carolina too, just because Slim did, and I like the way he was looking tonight. All right, Clemson at Virginia. Virginia's just terrible. I've been saying that for a couple weeks, but I've also had a losing record for a couple weeks too. That's something to know, viewers, which we have 0 right now. Where I think Virginia is going to be the dog in this one. Yep, they're 17-point dogs. Poppy, what do you got?
Well, I'm hoping that Clemson makes more of a statement than when I picked them last week to cover the spread, and they didn't. I think they're going to win by more than 17. They got a lot more to play for. Virginia just is trying not to get embarrassed, and I don't think they can do it today or this week. Clemson in a rout.
Slim.
Clemson in a rout. They're going to rebound from last week's lackluster performance and put up a bunch of points this week. Virginia's got off.
Jiggle.
I think this is going to be
Clemson.
I think this is going to be really close to that 17-point spread. But I'm going to take Clemson. I think that they cover it, but I don't think it's going to be by a lot. I think that's going to be pretty close.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Clemson here. I know I hate big spreads, but I got to change up my strategy. And you got to help me on this one, Juggle Belly. What do Michigan and Michigan State play for?
Pride?
Paul Bunyan, right?
Pride. Power. The Paul Bunyan Act?
No, not the axe.
It's not an axe. It's a crappy statue.
Oh. I don't know. It's a crappy
So
statue.
Michigan at Michigan State, both just barely ranked in the top 25. It's Ann Arbor, so they automatically get 3 points.
It's not in Ann Arbor.
Good try, though.
You're right. It's in East Lansing. So they automatically get 3 points, and they're 6-point favorites. Jiggle, what do you got?
Michigan State. Their defense they don't score a lot, but Michigan is about as bipolar as South Carolina, and they haven't blown anybody out. They haven't lost by a lot. No matter who they play, it's a close game. I think Michigan State's going to force some turnovers, though, and win this game by more than 6.
Slam.
Yeah, Michigan State, their defense is really impressive this year. Michigan State.
Poppy.
I'm going to go with Michigan here. I don't know if Michigan State's offense is going to be able to score enough to keep up with Michigan. I'll take Michigan in the points.
Yeah, I agree with Poppy here. I got Michigan in the points, too. Which brings us to Northwestern at Nebraska. Big game down in Lincoln. Bo's playing for his job. And being that his brother just got fired today for using illegal substances
He resigned.
at Florida Atlantic, it's going to be a bad year for the Pleenies, even though Northwestern is 7-point favorites here. Slim, what do you got?
I got Nebraska. I don't think Kane Coulter will be back. Northwestern's not looked good for the last couple weeks. Nebraska.
Poppy.
You know, I'm going to go with Northwestern. I don't think that Nebraska has showed any life in them, and I don't think they really want to play for Bo Pelini anymore. They've kind of, lost all respect for him. Nebraska they just don't do it for me. And I thought Kane Coulter played last week. Did he get injured? I thought he was going to play. If he does, I think that he would play. Northwestern with the points.
Jiggle.
I got Nebraska. This is the battle of the teams who lost to the Gophers, so this can't be a good game. But Northwestern's 0-4 in the Big Ten. Nebraska's at home. Nothing to like about this game, but I'm going to take Nebraska.
As much as it pains me to say this, I got to take Nebraska too. I hate the Cornhuskers. All right, Oklahoma State at Texas Tech, where Texas Tech is a 2.5-point favorite. We're going to go to our Cliff Kingsbury aficionado and see what he's got to say with this one. Slim.
This is a matchup of my two favorite college coaches, Mike Gundy, he's a man, and Cliff, wearing sunglasses all day, Kingsbury. I got to go with Cliff Kingsbury. He's just a good-looking man, Hollister model pencil. So I go with Texas Tech.
Jiggle.
Oklahoma State. Both teams have good offenses. I think the difference in this game is turnovers. Ironically, this I don't think will be a defensive game at all. But Texas Tech is -6 in turnover margin this year, which is absolutely unbelievable that they have the record they do with that stat. But
Poppy, you got 30 seconds.
All right, I'll go with Oklahoma State. Texas Tech's all smoke and mirrors. They lost to a good but not great Oklahoma team last week and has underwhelmed against some mediocre Big 12 teams. Oklahoma State coming off 2 solid wins. They're going to win with the points.
Poppy, did you go?
Yeah, thanks for listening.
I got to go Kingsbury. Texas Tech covers.
Yeah!
Miami at Florida State. Big game this weekend. At Florida State, Miami hasn't looked the best the last couple games, and Florida State's looked pretty good. And Florida State is a 21.5-point favorite in this game. Unbelievable. 2 top 10 ranked teams and a 21.5-point spread. Jiggle, is this crazy?
it's pretty insane that 2 undefeated top 10 teams can have a 21.5-point spread. I don't know where to go though with it. That's the intriguing part about it. I'm gonna take Miami because a 3-touchdown spread in a top 10 game is just unbelievable. I think Florida State wins this game pretty handily, but this spread is just too big for me to take with 2 undefeated top 10 teams.
Slim.
Not so fast. Here comes Florida State. They need this is a statement game for them. They need to, win and win by a lot. I think Jameis Winston is all he's advertised. I win in a rout. I think they can spread.
Poppy.
Florida State, I think, has only had one game where they've won by less than 22 points all season. I think that they're going to be able to cover the more manageable 21.5 as opposed to the 32.5 of last week. They're going to score and try to make a statement. Florida State by more than 21.5.
Not today, and not on Saturday. I got Miami within 21.5 here, easy. But talking about big spreads, UTEP, University of Texas El Paso, is going into College Station where they're 45.5-point dogs. Jiggle, is there any way A&M covers this?
There's definitely a way, but I don't think it's going to happen. This spread's crazy, and A&M's going to push it, but Johnny Football is coming up, nursing some injuries, things like that. I don't think he takes a snap in the second half even. And UTEP has a good freshman running back, so they'll be able to control a little bit of clock. And Texas A&M has a bad defense, so I think this spread's just a little too big.
Slim.
Yeah, I got to agree with Omar on this one. A&M struggled with the Auburn running attack, although UTEP's running attack is not nearly as good as Auburn. I think they're going to struggle to top in the run this week, and I think they don't exactly keep it close, but they cover the spread easy. That's a big number, so I got UTEP.
Poppy.
You know, this might be a preposterous statement, but I think UTEP's a lot better than their record shows. They played several close games, but they're a terrible team and a terrible town with terrible fans. There's no way that A&M runs the score by more than 45, though.
Yeah, I mean, 45.5. I'm not going to learn my lesson. 45.5 is too many points. Which brings us to the Wolfpack. Colin Kaepernick's alma mater. Heading into Fresno where they're 20.5-point dogs. Slim, what do you got?
Fresno State, Derek Carr did a great game last week against San Diego State. I think they rebound and win by a lot this week against Nevada.
Jiggle.
Nevada so far this year has played 2 ranked teams on the road. Their average margin of defeat in those games is 46.5 points. They give up over 36 a game, and Derek Carr can throw the ball around. He has a chance in this game with a good chance if he throws for a little over 200 yards to become Fresno State's all-time leading passer, yardage-wise, and he already has the most touchdown passes in school history, and that's including over his big bro, number 1 overall pick, David Carr. So I like Fresno State in this one.
Poppy.
Yeah, Nevada has no chance to win this one. They're not very good. But on the other hand, Fresno State hasn't exactly crushed anybody either. They've played in a lot of close games for a team to be favored by 20-plus points. I think that Fresno's going to start feeling the pressure of being undefeated, and they might slip up, and this might be the week that they do so. I'm going to pick Nevada to cover.
Yeah, I got Nevada to cover too. Nevada has a history of being kind of the bracket buster, if you will, of the FBS. So I got Nevada within 20.5 here, which brings us to our final game of the week. The Gophers heading into Bloomington, where they're 9-point dogs, even though they're even in the Big Ten. Does this make sense to you, Poppy?
I picked against Minnesota a couple weeks ago when I went to Northwestern to see the game. I'm not going to pick – I picked against them when they played Nebraska. I have to go with Minnesota this week. I am planning on going to the game in Bloomington. I've had pretty good success the last couple times I've gone to Gophers games. And so the only question with this one is whether they can slow down Indiana's offense enough to win. They're playing passionate football, and I think they're going to go into Bloomington and pick up a win and get themselves into a pretty significant bowl game this fall.
Jiggle.
Somebody's wearing those maroon and gold colored glasses, drinking that Kool-Aid. This is not a good team, and they have not beat a good team. They've beaten a couple teams who are reeling and struggling, and Nebraska's not good. They're extremely overrated. Northwestern looks like they're the Northwestern of old all of a sudden. This Gopher team's not good. Their offense can't score. The 30 they put up on Nebraska doesn't impress me. at all. I don't think we'll be able to score with Indiana. I think Indiana's going to win the game and cover this one.
Indiana can't stop anything. Have they given up less than 40 points to anyone in the Big Ten?
I don't think it matters because I think they score 60+ in this one.
Slim, what do you got? Silence.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Haynes on this one. Indiana has a very poor defense. And Minnesota's playing good football right now. If Philip Nelson plays like he has the past couple of weeks, I think they can cover the spread, and I think they win this game too. You forget that Indiana's a pass-happy team. They're just wreak havoc on Indiana and their quarterback all day. I got Minnesota covering and winning.
Minnesota's looked like a completely different team on both offense and defense the last 2 weeks. I know they've been playing against mediocre competition, but at times you can't say Indiana hasn't played anybody good and beaten them. I mean, they've been close in a few games, but they haven't proven that they can be a team that you should fear going to play.
I don't think that the Gophers should fear them, but I don't know.
And I think Minnesota matches up really well against them because
Minnesota's
going to be able to run the ball and control the clock better than some of those other teams can.
All right, I'm going to say Indiana does not cover here, and the Gophers are within 9. It's in. I think the Gophers are playing pretty well right now. So now it's time for our 3-game parlays. We'll start off with Jiggle. What do you got?
I got South Carolina, Auburn, and Oregon State.
Slim.
I got Penn State, Michigan State, and Minnesota.
Poppy.
I went off the reservation, and I didn't know if I could pick major college football games that weren't on our list, so I did it anyways. I have Auburn beating Arkansas by more than 9. I think Georgia's going to cover whatever spread you put against them against Florida. I don't think there's any chance they lose. And then lastly, San Jose State is 3.5-point favorites against UNLV. I like San Jose State to cover whatever spread the final one is in that game as well. I'm scouring for sure winners.
That's a sure winner. Which brings us to the Missouri Valley.
You only picked one.
Youngstown. What'd you say?
You only picked 2.
Team.
I picked 3.
Who else did you pick?
I'll show you. So we got...
Oh, okay.
No, that's just not my background. Jiggle. I actually made that pick. Youngstown going into Vermillion. What do you got here, Poppy?
I'm going to go with Youngstown here. I don't really know much other than the fact they're going to win.
Slim.
Yeah, I also got Youngstown. I thought USD had something going, but then they lost last week. I got Youngstown winning this one at the Dakota Dome.
Jiggle.
Youngstown.
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 UNI goes to Illinois State. Poppy.
Well, I picked UNI last week and they let me down. I'm going Illinois State.
Jiggle. Jiggle.
What's up? I got Illinois State in this one.
Why are you trying to go with 2 computers right now? Slim.
We're getting multiple angles.
Yeah, you're also interfering. Slim.
UNI. UNI.
Sycamores. Damn it, the Redbirds. God damn it, I always do that. The Sycamores going into Missouri State. Poppy.
Missouri State. Indiana State's horrible.
Slim.
MSU. Missouri State.
Jiggle. You gotta unmute yourself.
I don't have to. You can do it for me.
Jiggle, you gotta unmute yourself. Who do you got?
Missouri State.
Which brings, I got Missouri State too. Last game, Southern Illinois, Western Illinois. Poppy.
Southern Illinois is gonna win. I picked Western Illinois, and they also let me down last week, so I'm gonna go with Southern.
Jiggle.
Southern.
Salukis. So that'll do it for us all. Oh, he's back. Southern Illinois, Western Illinois, Slim.
Salukis. Southern Illinois.
Duh. So, all right, that'll do it for all of us. Say goodbye, Jiggle.
No. I don't want to
Say
go.
goodbye, Slim.
Hey, wait. I missed the last.
I had Southern, Jiggle had Southern, and I think Poppy had Western.
Southern. Western Illinois sucks.
How about, okay. I'm good.
All right, well, that'll do it for this week's Friday Fierce Football Feast. We'll see you again next week. Hopefully we'll not have as many technological issues, and hopefully we'll have more than 0 viewers for the entire hour. Thank you.